is going on, guys? My name is SpookieSTL. Thank you for joining me today, and today we're going to be talking about how video games saved my life. And what do I mean by that? I mean video games truly saved my life in the sense this is a story, well not really story, but this is why I played video games in my life, and I'm so happy that I did. Now if you are somebody who doesn't like video games, I highly suggest that you stay tuned for the video so that maybe you can understand people who do like playing video games. And then maybe you have an open mind to play video games. So that's what I'm trying to do here today. So how and why do video games mean anything to me? Why do I play video games all the time, and why do people ask me all the time, why do you spend so much time on a disc or like a digital data? That isn't really gonna mean anything in your life later. Hold up. Yes, it really does, because when I was younger, video games were my perfect escape. That's why a lot of people play video games, but also people get addicted to video games. They play for hours and hours a day. Like me. This is why. The story gets emerging. Storytelling is the #1 key in a video game that people need to understand. That, you know, it's the same thing as like, why do people watch Netflix all the time? Why do people do their job all the time? We want something to do. Honestly, when people play video games, it gives us a sense of purpose. For people like me, I was never big in sports in high school, okay? I never really played anything, and even if I did, I tried to impress my parents, and that just never really happened. So I stopped doing sports, and I played a lot more video games because video games made me feel happy. I love the emerging stories. Also, too, some video games have competitive modes, multiplayer. I remember I used to bring in my friends over and play the game for hours and trying to beat my friends at games because it was the competitive way to get my outlet out there, and we loved it. I used to have 4 or 5 friends playing one video game at a time with 4 different controllers, and it was amazing. It was such a fun experience. At the same time, they also have an online mode where you can play with your friends across the United States, and it always kept me in contact with people when I moved from New Jersey to California. That was another reason why I used it. Communication, competitiveness, and storyline. At the same time, when I used to get out of high school every single day, and I used to ask, let's say if you have homework or something, I used to get on there, and sometimes I would just chat with my friends. You can use video games for that too. Also, the console or the system or the rig or PC rig, whatever you guys have. There's so many different ways to use a gaming system or PC. It doesn't really matter. It's not always about the games. Now, also, there's very different kinds of games for everybody. The shooters, there's racers, there's mind games that like have puzzles and stuff. There's a wide plethora of things. Fighting games. Personally for me, I love every type of game, and every single game has helped me because I've been a writer and a creative content creator all my life, and it's given me such an amazing outlet, and everything has shaped my mind about a person I should be. Sometimes there's really compelling, strong characters and stories that you fall in love with, and if they die or something happens to them, you feel that. That's amazing storytelling. That's screenplay. For somebody who went to film school and left, that truly means a lot to me because that is still learning for me. I'm learning every single day about motives, lives, religions, all these different things. And I even learned how to drive. This is gonna sound weird. I even learned how to drive in Grand Theft Auto because it made sense to me. Now that game has a lot of different things you could do in it, and you could choose how to be how you want to be in that game, but at the same time, there's different ways to understand things. It also taught me how to just save money as well recently, because some games you have to save a lot of currency, in-game currency, okay, to manage some things like buy a house, like Sims, or do all these other things. And honestly, it gives you that, oh, you know what, in real life I would love to have something like that. I would love to do something like that. At the same time, some games do have this tricky little thing, and I will admit I did this the other day, that they allow you to connect your credit card or debit card or put in cash to the game to get ahead of the game. At the same time, this is a real life teaching motive as well. That if you put your credit card into the game, if you get antsy, like you want something right away, you pay $20, $10, whatever, and you put it in. At the same time, some games have subscriptions. This also teaches you how to manage your money. Now, when it gets to a point of where you're spending a lot of money and you just want to get ahead right away and you're blowing $100 on your credit card every single week, that is when it becomes an addiction. That's when it should not be. That's where we should not be. But at the same time, it doesn't really happen for every game. Every game you pay is going to be the $60 to $30 depending what you do or how you get the game. If it's used, if it's new. 60, 64 is just usually the cap of the price and everything else as well. But there's just so much to video games. And honestly, I had a girlfriend at a time, well, an ex, and she's my best friend now, and she never used to understand why I used to play video games so much. I remember used to talking to her on the phone, but also talking to my friends on the Xbox as well, playing like Call of Duty or, you know, something. And we used to fight all the time. And then until we both got older and I sat her down, well, she sat down with me, we played a PS4 game, a Call of Duty game, okay? And we played it together. Then she understood why I would play, because it's like a relief. Sometimes it's like a stress relief. Like sometimes it's our therapy. And that's just how it goes, you know, for video games and video game players and everything. And there's just so many outlets, whether it's YouTube, Twitch streaming, so much you can do with it. So this is why I play video games so much, and there's just so much more to it, and I hope I explained just a tiny bit in the fastest way possible that I could do. That's what I really wanted to do. Video games means a lot to people, so don't act like they don't do anything, because I know a lot of people who do a lot of different jobs. Video games is a creative outlet just like anything else. So my name is SpookieSTL, and at the end of the day, don't forget to share the love. What?